supplements that speed up fat loss. I'm going to go over some today, so grab your coffee and let's get into it.
I got mine.
You did you just make that right now?
No.
No?
I brought it with me
That's from home?
Yeah.
Oh. I've got my glasses on today. It's so hard to put them off and on because of the headphones, but I can't really see you. You blurry to me with my glasses, but I can read my notes really well.
Read your notes because you're always fighting to read those things.
So it's a trade-off, but I'm going to try to keep them on. But these aren't my favorite ones. These are a little small for my face. Don't they look funny?
No.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
You don't call attention to yourself.
I know. But anyways, that's my spiel. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Candidly with Coffee. If you're not already following us on Instagram, candidly_with_coffee on Instagram. And leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Let me check the reviews over here, see if we've got any more to read. Haley P.O. says, I love listening to this podcast. Janine and Mike are very inspiring. They have definitely helped me believe and understand how to, at 51 years old, completely optimize my health, nutrition, and mindset. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of these reviews. You guys, we really appreciate it. I mean, just in a short period of time, like over the last month or so, we've probably gotten like 15 new reviews, which is awesome. So we really appreciate that.
We do.
And if you haven't checked out our show over on Patreon, that's patreon.com/off_topic for some more unfiltered, uncensored, just off the chains episodes over there.
It is off the chains. We go off the deep end. We go down the bottom of the ocean, right back up.
Yeah, we talk
out
about
to Mars, back to Earth.
Everything under the sun. We just recorded an episode right before this podcast, and we literally touched on so many different off topics that it was just, I don't even know. I've given up even trying to put together a summary for that episode. Just hit play if you're bored, if you're cleaning the house or making your bed or, on the treadmill. It'll be good for some humor.
I try to give you guys a good little laugh on there sometimes.
Yeah, because, sometimes we just need a little humor.
Yes, we do.
My nest is officially half empty.
Yep.
Yeah. Alyssa's room is empty and hollow and echoing.
Yeah.
So weird.
I know. It feels like it happens so fast.
Yeah, it really does.
Like the years, since I first met you, dated you, and saw her as a little girl till now, it's like sometimes you blink and like, whoa.
I remember when I had that conversation with my mom in October of 2021 she said she blinked her eyes and she was like, Janine, just enjoy life because I blinked my eyes. I kid you not. She said it with such depth and passion. She said, I literally feel like I was just 50. She goes, 25 years, I feel like I blinked my eyes. And it was so like, it hit me deep. You know what I mean? Because I felt her really, truly feel that way. I really felt it. And in that moment, I'm like, man, I'm always going to remember this conversation. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's how I feel like with Alyssa leaving. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I blinked my eyes. She
was just a little
was
girl
my youngest.
Yes.
And I blinked my eyes and it's done. It's just done. Your parenting of a child is just done. You know what I mean? It's just weird. Yeah. And I just remembered that conversation with my mom, and now I get it too. Like, it's just, time is so fast.
It is. We one thing about time, we don't appreciate it. Time, I always say this, is the most important and precious asset on earth because we can never get it back. The most richest person on earth cannot buy time back.
Right.
And it goes like that. And sometimes you're like, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'd go back and fix it. We always say that. I try not to live in that headspace, but many times I have where I wish I could do things differently, do this differently. You learn from your mistakes. You grow. But one thing is don't waste your time, you guys. Don't waste your time. It goes by so quick. Don't waste it. Don't waste it on bullshit. Like, while you're listening to this, think about, like, what can I do to better myself, better my life? Is there anything I'm missing out on? Don't waste it, because it goes like that.
It's crazy. It is really crazy. And the quickness that it feels like.
Quickness, yeah.
When you look back on like a big chunks of time in your life, and they literally went like in the blink of an eye. But like the feeling of it's similar to like a grief feeling. You know what I mean? I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting to feel grief.
Yeah.
Because grief is awful. I hate it's a certain kind of pain.
No, I know that pain. I know what
that
you mean.
is grief. Because there's pain, there's sadness.
Yeah.
That is not a grief pain. And then there's a grief pain. So I wasn't expecting it to be like a grief pain, I don't think.
Yeah.
But, you never know. Sometimes you get...
and that's why I think you had a conversation, maybe our last podcast or somewhere where you said that, like, you understand why a lot of people go through their midlife crisis. Mm-hmm. Empty nesters is one of them. They feel alone after.
Yeah, because there's just a lot that
goes... You feel like your duty is done. Like, what now? Like, my job as a parent is done.
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah, and like I think I talked about it in that episode too, where someone pinpointed it. She was like a therapist and said it's like, she said, I'm triggered by endings, and she's right. That's true. Things that are over. Yes. It's kind of true because I even feel that way, like a little sadness when I'm reading a good book and it's over. I kind of have that really kind of like sadness of it being over. I think that I have something. Who knows what kind of trauma, like the last episode or 2 episodes ago, trauma. I have deep down in there that there's something that an endings trigger something for me, like endings.
Interesting.
I don't know. Who knows? But you had something also that was really sad to this past weekend too. You want to share? Yeah.
Unexpected, sad, and just not something I, in a million years, thought I'd be getting a phone call. One of my friends decided to take a swim in Lake Tahoe. This is beautiful. It's called the Bonsai Rock.
The Bonsai Rock.
A lot of people try to swim out to this Bonsai Rock, but for any of you guys know or been to Lake Tahoe, you know how rough that water is and dangerous. And from the sound of, there's 2 people that swam, 2 friends that swam to it. One survived, one passed away, but one got snatched up by an undertow. And, he did my friend, according to him, he said he did his best. He fought his hardest, but, the water got him. It's like, sometimes I wonder, was the universe, was it his time? Like, was that his destiny, fate? Because religion is weird.
Yeah.
I know it's a freak accident. He didn't mean to do that. Right. Obviously, he has 2 little girls and a wife and a family that loves him. But was it the universe calling him? I mean, sometimes I get even my mind, man. It spins a million miles a minute. I'm not super religious, but I do believe there's something out there of some sort. There's some kind of God, creator, something. I don't know. But that's the hardest thing to me about that situation is for his loved ones that have to know that he fought, like it was a traumatic ending. Like he knew he was dying basically, or going to possibly, like, oh shit, like I'm probably not going to survive this. Like you have that, like that's the sad thing, like thinking of those final moments. I played it over and over in my mind a million times, how he felt.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I just played it over if I was out there in his situation.
Yeah, it's awful. And your friend that was also fighting for his life, he was able to feel a rock with his feet and kind of hold himself steady so he didn't get sucked down.
Yes.
But how long did it take for rescuers to get to them?
Like 40 minutes.
So he almost gave in too.
Yeah, he said it was close. He said he was running out of energy and he was wiped out, Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm just hearing it makes me panic to get in the water. But I can tell you that my dumbass has been in the Lake Tahoe water, swimming to the little wood platform. And I'm not a good swimmer, by the way. Swimming to the wood platform with quite a few drinks in me, thinking...
Life jacket or no life jacket?
No life jacket.
Oof.
Not even thinking twice that I would ever drown, because I kind of know how to swim. Not even thinking twice that it's a possibility that I would drown.
You know what I did as a kid?
It's just crazy.
We used to go to the Russian River by Santa Rosa. And I remember there was this like a wooden plank or platform. And all the kids would swim to it and jump off into the water. And I was still kind of young, and I was like, damn, that looks like fun. But I wasn't really trained in swimming yet. I just fucking went for it. I went for it with no training. I went for it and made it to that wooden plank. And
you are nuts.
And then I just self-taught and did it and jumped off. And I had fear. Before I wouldn't do it. I had gone on that river many times. It's like a lake river and wouldn't do it. I'd just stare at it.
Where was that at? That's not Lake Elizabeth, was it?
No. It's not Gurneyville. Gurneyville, you go off the 101 deeper. It starts with
Well, I
the
just
H.
asked because I was wondering, because we used to go as kids to a place called Lake Elizabeth, and there was this platform. There was this platform too, out there. But
many times, because I'm a boating guy, I've been boating for many years. We used to go to Lake Berryessa, and there was a huge rock at Lake Berryessa, and we'd be drinking, and we'd climb our asses up there. I don't know how many stories or feet. It was up there, dangerous, and we'd jump off that rock into the lake. I remember pulling one of my boys. He drank way too much. He landed wrong. We had to pull him out. He swallowed a lot of water. We had to jump in and grab him.
I watched you jump, and I was just dumb. I remember Lake Tulloch.
Off a bridge?
For the bump. We went to a bump party or whatever.
I jumped off a rock there, too.
You jumped off a rock. I just thought, why are you going to do that? Of course.
Yeah, see? Dumb. Machismo.
Why?
Stupid. That's all it takes. One stupid decision could cost your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have knocked myself on the water and drowned. You're right. I didn't think about. You don't think about those things though.
No.
But now that I'm older and I've done that, I'll never do that again.
There's certain things that the thrill is not worth the reward.
No, it's not. The juice ain't worth the squeeze for sure. Especially when your life's on the line. We don't think about that.
A friend of mine years ago, her cousin was married to this guy's big guy, 6'5", and the whole family went camping, and he jumped off of the rocks into the water. And he's 6'5", and he thought it was deep, and it was shallow. Quadriplegic. Became quadriplegic. No arms. Only could move his face like a Christopher Reeves.
Wow,
like that.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm wondering actually if he's still alive. It just devastated their entire lives.
Yes.
Because that's an overhaul to your entire life. But just jumping into the water, just assuming it was shallow. I mean, it was deep.
And it's always, you notice, it's freak accidents like this. It's always like on little family vacations or trips.
Awful.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't play with Mother Nature.
No, it's scary. I mean, I almost drowned. So
I know.
And it was a family gathering. We day at the pool.
I thought about that. Yeah.
Day at the pool. Everyone's having a grand old time. I did not know how to swim. But, there was my parents, everyone was their cousins, and then everyone went into the house, and I ran back to get a toy or my towel or something, and I tripped over a water hose and fell in the water in the deep end. But because Danny he was so protective of me all the time. Everywhere we went, he was always like, where's Janine? Where's Janine? Where's Janine? Yeah. Always. So he got into the house, and the first thing he said was, where's Janine? Didn't see me, ran back outside and saved me. I would have been dead. That's it. Would have been gone.
There'd be no
5 years old.
There would be no,
and I remember it.
There would be no Tyler, no Alyssa, no us. Isn't that crazy?
No.
Just something freak. That's another freak accident.
And I remember
that happens a lot with kids.
I remember it clearly, and I remember thinking, everybody's in the house. You know what I mean? I thought I'm dead.
What were you doing in those few seconds? Just treading water? Were you flailing? Do you remember?
I don't remember exactly. That's kind of a blur.
Yeah.
But I just
how did Danny grab you? He just grabbed your arms and pulled you out?
No. What I do remember is before he touched me, I saw legs in the pool. So I opened my eyes underwater. I must have opened my eyes or something, and I saw legs because there's like lights in the pool. Uh-huh. And so he must have sat on the edge of the pool and then reached out. I must not have been far from the edge and reached out. He didn't go in all the way. He went. His legs were on the side because I remember seeing his legs dangle, and that's all I remember. That's the only memory I have. But I remember thinking, and I was young. I mean, I think I may have been 5 or 6. I remember thinking like, oh, shoot, I'm going to drown.
And this happens. This isn't a rare occurrence. This happens a lot with little kids. That's why it's dangerous.
And you know why I knew about drowning, which is so ironic that I even have this memory. It just came to me. Is back then I knew about drowning because I saw it in a Popeye episode. It was my favorite cartoon, Popeye.
Was it?
Yes.
I love Popeye too, man.
And there was Olive Oyl almost drowns in one of the cartoons, and that's what I remember learning about drowning. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to drown like it was like a weird.
Whoa.
Yeah, he saved me. But that would have been my family would have been changed forever.
Forever. 100%.
Yeah.
Kids wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. None of this would
everything.
It's weird how some little thing and the universe changes. And
you know, they say like sliding doors or whatever.
They made a movie about that.
Yeah.
About like if you change something, they go back and you change something. Or
Yeah, butterfly effect, I think is called.
Yeah. I think they made a Back to the Future, one of the Back to the Futures where he had to go back.
Oh, I just watched that.
He had to go back and he saw his own mother and she was trying to date him. He's like, no, I'm your son and you don't know. You know,
I'm on an 80s, it's Back to the Future Part 1. I'm on an 80s movie kick and I just watched that. But yeah, so.
It's one of them. I'm not sure if
it's part one. I just watched it.
Oh,
yes. Okay. His mom fell in love with him or whatever. Yeah. He's like, no, you're supposed to meet my dad, not me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, you guys, let's take a little break for a message about Body Boot Camp. If you're in menopause and you want to get in the best shape of your life, you have to come inside of Jay's Body Boot Camp. It's my 8-week online program. I teach you how to unlock the code to your dream body by implementing my 4 simple protocol. You will look and feel better than ever with no restriction, no rigid rules. I'll give you my exact blueprint on what I do in order to look and feel better than I ever have before. I also teach you how to maintain your results long-term. This is not a cookie cutter fad diet. Come inside of Jay's Body Boot Camp and let's unlock your code. Doors only open every 2 months and they're about to open again. Make sure you're on that list so you can get registered and get started. Let's work on your dream body. All right, you guys, make sure you get on the list for Body Boot Camp. It is now exceeding 100 people, meaning you better be on the list if you want to join BBC 14 because it might not even open to regular registration if everybody actually signs up that's on the wait list. You never know because sometimes they put themselves on the wait list but don't sign up. But get on the wait list. The link is down in the description. It's an amazing program. It's a great way to start your journey. It's a great way if you're thinking about working with me one-on-one. Yeah. It's a good opportunity to kind of get an idea of what that might be like in a light version. And
it's life-changing. People realize your whole life, you could be a whole different person. I always say this because time goes by. We just talked about how fast you blink of an eye and the years go by quick. You could be a whole different person in a year. Don't think about, this is going to take too long. People got in their head that things take too long. A year is going to come by quick before you know it. So if you do something now about it, and then you get to talk to yourself a year older, but like, oh my God, we've changed so much. You created a new person. People need to start thinking that way. And a year's nothing. Yeah. Imagine a year or two, it really ain't. It goes by quick.
Yeah, I've been starting to ask my one-on-one clients in their check-ins, like, hey, let's start thinking about where you want to be by the end of the year. Let's put it down. Let's write it down. So I've been adding goals.
I like that.
I've been adding their goals there so they can see their progress. They can see their progress bar to see how close they're getting to it. Yeah. Like how much weight do you want to lose? I'm like, all right, you realize what that means. That's this amount per week, got to stay on point, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. When they start falling off track, I'll remind them of that goal, So we've been doing that because, it's going to be here like this, the end of December.
Fast, quick.
So you may as well work towards something.
When you're a little kid, when we're little, it seems like forever, right? Mm-hmm. When you're an adult, no way, you blink and it's already here.
Yeah,
it'll be upon us quick.
Faster. Goes by much faster. All right. Let's move on to a little message from One Up Nutrition. It is no secret to you guys by now how much I love my One Up Nutrition supplements. They are a part of my daily routine, from the daily cleanse and the gut health plus that help keep my digestion on point, to their protein powders that I incorporate into so many different recipes. The iso protein is very easy to digest and only 110 calories per scoop. The whey protein is delicious. The flavors are so good and always have little extra crunchy cookie pieces in them that just take the flavor to the next level. Their powders like the Pure Rebuild and the pre-workout are a staple in my daily workout routine. Their flavors are amazing. I'm alcohol-free these days, but I swear when I drink some of these flavors from One Up, I actually feel like I'm having a delicious mocktail. Their products are third-party tested, so you know what you're getting. They're made in the USA. If you use code Janine at checkout for a discount. That's JEANINE. All right. I'm actually going to be talking about some One Up Nutrition supplements that you might find interesting in this episode. So I want to talk about true fat loss tools a little bit later. But before we get into that, let's get into Comment Corner. This first comment comes to us from Hap1221. And she's commenting on the episode with Michelle about getting sober. And she says, so brave of her to share her story. As someone who lived with an alcoholic for many, many years, I hope she continues to seek support. It is so, so important. And it really is a lifelong journey. That's so true. I think people need to realize with addiction that it's not something that goes away or is cured. It's something you always have to understand about yourself. If you are an addict, you are an addict, period.
Yeah. Man, listen, you're talking one right here. I know, because your addictions come out in other forms. Whether, okay, I stopped drinking and smoking weed and doing that other dumb shit, but guess what? Sometimes I just want to crush a whole bag of chips. My addiction side comes out of me. It wants to like go in. I have to stop. I'm like, no, simmer down, homie. We're not doing that. You come too far.
Yeah.
Got too much good progress. No, we're not self-sabotaging.
No, it's easy to it's easy to slide back.
Easy. People do it all the time. Yeah. People relapse on their drinking a lot. They could be just clean a year and be like, I'm done, I'm free, and boom. This takes one trigger to have them drink again. Not much. Same thing with the food relapse. You could be doing good for a whole year and never relapse once on your diet. Oh, perfect. All of a sudden, you have one bad day and you start self-sabotaging.
Sliding back down the mountain.
Yes.
Okay, this one comes to us from Anomaly 751, a great podcast. Glad I found it. It's inspiring that you're on to the next chapter of life, especially after making it to Netflix. I used to work at Netflix. Most people don't make it half that far. Did you do a video on skincare or vitamins yet? I actually do have a video on supplements that we just did, a podcast. Yes. And I do need to do an updated video, though, of my actual supplements and skincare routine. So thanks for the reminder. I need to get that video up on YouTube for sure. All right, the next one is Silvana Torella. Silvana Torella says, this one really hits home. As I realized a while back, my kids became independent very young. Today they are 15 and 18, and it does not get easy because I have this sense of protection. You are right. They are independent and their own person and need to be making their own decisions and support them. Definitely easier said than done, but I am a work in progress and love them. I think what it boils down to with your kids is you have to be happy, like I've told you before, for their happiness, and know that what makes them happy may not be what makes you happy. So if you, as long as they're doing something that makes them happy, because guess what? A lot of parents, they want their kids to do something that they want them to do.
Yes.
To make their parents happy. But guess what? Then they become unfulfilled adults, and they're like, oh man, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, because I wanted to keep my parents happy.
And not to get off topic, but I got a little story on that. Snoop Dogg, shout out Snoop Dogg, the famous rapper. He had a son in college. Excelled at football. Dude was a G. Could have probably went to NFL. He was that good. He just quit one day. It wasn't his happiness. This guy was a stud and quit. Nah, I didn't want to do it no more. And his dad was heartbroken, obviously, but he was a stud at football, but he just didn't want to do it no more. Snoop probably pushed him into doing it, and he got good at it, excelled at it, but it wasn't his happiness. So I feel like there's a lot of sports parents out there, dads that push their kids because they couldn't do it, so they want their kids to do it. I don't know. I feel like that. I see that a lot.
Yeah, of course. They want to live vicariously through their kids.
Yes, can't do that.
They want that thunder.
Yes, they want that thunder. I see it a lot in the boxing world, a lot, and it's annoying where you got these fathers who coach their kids as they're young, and they have success with them. But I also feel like, okay, because since you didn't make it, you're trying to push your kid into him being the star, and then you could shine behind him. Because sometimes there's some fathers who have famous sons or boxers who all want to be up in the camera in the mix. Like, yo, back up. This is your son's like, get the hell out of here. I see it too much. It's annoying,
Yeah, it is.
We met one of those boxers. You remember that dude in Vegas? His dad, man, annoying. I ain't seen him on social media, but he's annoying.
He is annoying.
Angel,
I know who you're talking about.
Get the fuck out of the camera, dude. This is your son's timeline, not yours, or his light, not you, bro. He earned it, not you. Okay, you're his father, but so what? Get out of the picture.
Yeah, like I like to be in the shadows, man. I'm in the backstage. I'll support you, but from the backstage.
Yeah, just annoying when parents want to be all up in the middle. Get out of here, man.
I know. It's too much.
This ain't shoes. This ain't your shine. Out of there.
All right, you guys, let's take a little break for Mega Fit Meals, and we'll be right back. Life is busy, and when I get busy and don't have time to meal prep, I reach into my freezer and grab a MegaFit Meals. MegaFit Meals are a macro-friendly meal prep, no subscription required, real quality ingredients. They switch up the menu. You guys, I love them. Their chicken tenders, the margarita pizza, the chicken quesadillas. I mean, this food sounds indulgent, but guess what? It fits right into your macros. Head over to their website and don't you forget to use code JEANINE. That's code Janine for a discount. All right. I got the MegaFit Meals order in. It's in.
Got it in?
Yeah. So we're good.
We're good.
Yep. I almost forgot. Why I'm saying that is because you guys like picked what you wanted and you walked away and I was on my computer. I'm like, oh my God, I never submitted the order. Could you imagine if I would have forgotten again? You guys would have killed me.
Would have been mad. Because listen, man, this day and age, things are expensive. Inflation's outrageous. And we're saving money by eating those at home. And it's good. It's good for us. We enjoy them. We truly enjoy them.
Yeah, it keeps you eating at home.
Yes, keeps us eating at home.
Eating at home. So you say, oh, we have nothing to eat. No. You cannot say that.
Yeah.
Check the freezer. There is always something in the freezer.
People always want to use that as an excuse. Well, I have nothing made. Well, make something. So you make it. It doesn't make itself. Everybody has to make food.
No, but I get that because I feel like that sometimes. I just don't feel like making anything. But it's always nice to know that I open the freezer and have a pre-made meal.
Yeah, it's super convenient.
Yeah.
It helps out, especially if you're on a busy day and you're tired. For sure, 100%.
Yep. All right. Let's talk about this interesting fact I read. So this is about aging, like how we age. And I don't know if you think about anybody that you know of, but we don't actually age as gradually as people think. Like people think, oh, you age gradually over time. There is proof, I guess, or evidence to suggest that there are two ages where the most rapid aging takes place. Do you want to guess what they are? There are two ages in life.
This is interesting. I've thought about this too. It's funny. I didn't even know what you're talking about.
And I'm talking about like on a molecular level, like our cells, the molecular level.
Are we accurately our age, what we're supposed to be? Yes.
So what two ages you think were that molecular aging is the most rapid?
Somewhere in our youth?
I don't know. Guess two ages.
It has to be ages, like a number.
Yeah. Ages. An age.
Oh, shit. I'm just going to throw it out there. 18 and 50?
Nope. 45 and 65.
Oh, wow.
So at 45 and 65, there are the most changes on a molecular level that happen like in the most condensed period of time. So it made me think, like, did I age a lot at 45? Do you notice how, like, some people, though, they'll say, like, all of a sudden it was just so much harder to drink. Like, I used to be able to drink and not get a headache or not feel like shit. Now, there is an exact reason for that. So at age 45,
interesting,
changes in our molecules related to specific things rapidly age, meaning our body has a more difficult time with alcohol, caffeine, and fat metabolism. Also, heart disease, skin, and muscle. So all those molecules related to those functions age. There's a significant amount of aging that takes place around 45 years old.
So it accelerates, is what it's saying?
Yeah, so it makes it more difficult to metabolize alcohol, caffeine, and fat. That's one of the things that happens. And then our heart disease, like our risk of heart disease increases, and then our skin and significant changes to skin and muscle start to happen at 45. Like maybe at 45, you felt like, shoot, I used to be so much easier for me to like get in the gym and see some results in a month. Like now it's not so easy. Like I feel a little different. So at 45,
you notice some looser skin.
Yeah.
You notice?
Well, it's because you're losing. If you notice, obviously the skin elasticity is changing, but there's two things happening that is causing that aging look of your body. It's two things simultaneously, too. And it's at both the ages of 45 and then again at 65. It is a reduction in muscle and a loss of collagen in the skin. Skin elasticity decreases. So, yeah. So at least we're both past the first one. So we survived that little chunk of time. Yep. Now we're on to 65. But I did think it was interesting because I thought, okay, so is that why, like I do hear, people in their 40s will be like, man, I used to be able to have a glass of wine and now it just makes, I'm hungover. And I never used to make me hungover, because your body has a more difficult time metabolizing it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting. And then at 65, it's not only that. At 65, also there's a rapid aging of kidney function as well.
Interesting. Damn. Crazy.
So yeah, something about those two periods in time that is.
And I feel like when 45 comes around, mentally it crushes a lot of people. That age.
45?
Somewhere around there.
I think 45. I think 50 is hard for people.
I don't know. I think 40s is harder these days, man. I think 50 is like a new, like, all right, I made it. I don't know. I'm gonna be 50. I feel good.
The thing about aging is like people, like what exactly like causes aging? It's really in our cells. So our bodies are made up of billions of cells, and as we age, these cells don't repair or replace as quickly or as effectively as they did when we were younger. So this slower cellular turnover leads to a gradual breakdown of our tissues and organs, which like the systems start to slow down and not function as well. This is why they're saying that the NAD plus peptide that we take is like the fountain of youth, because it helps the cells to repair and replace and regenerate faster. It speeds up that cell turnover. Also, the same with that.
It wakes up all the little workers, huh? Charges them up.
Yeah,
that's what I think of it, like a bunch of slow workers. All of a sudden, like, ooh, we got our dose of medicine. Let's go.
The same thing with the peptide that I got from them that that I put on my face, the copper peptide. It is to increase cell turnover. So whenever you hear that increasing cell turnover, that's what helps prevent the signs of aging. Because what's causing us to age is the slowing down of that cellular turnover. So that's good. You know, it's good to know.
Wow.
That's
good info, man.
I know.
Interesting. And I told you this before, is I feel like getting older, we're in an era where it ain't going to be so bad because they're coming out with so much stuff with that kind of stuff, like speed up the cells to repair and stem cells, peptides. It's only going to get better. So what I'm trying to say is by the time like your kids are our age, if they take care of themselves and keep exercising and eating good, they're not going to look like our age. They're going to look way younger.
Right.
They're going to look like they're probably in their 20s, they say. They're predicting the future. Like people in their 40s are going to look like they're in their 20s.
Well, yeah, like even our generation, right? We're like, I think like the first real generation that's really embracing hormone replacement.
Yes.
And that's another huge reason for why we age. You know, the question, why do we start to get old? Why do we age? Well, another big reason besides the cell turnover is our bodies literally stop producing all of those necessary hormones. So that slowdown in production of the testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, that will literally, physically, visually age you. So now that more people are embracing HRT, it's taking out that component of the aging process. It's prolonging that aging process because it's replenishing all of those hormones. And so that's another reason why, like you just said, people are starting to look younger and younger, is because people didn't have that knowledge, and they didn't know that, and they didn't do those things. And those are the things that are making people look like a 50-year-old today, you know.
Back when we were growing up, there was one foot in their grave, one
They
foot out of the grave.
old.
Yes, they did. You can go back and watch some episodes from some shows, and I think there's one, and it blew me away. Sanford and Son that I liked. There was a father and son in there.
Yeah, I remember that show.
They said that son was only like 20 years old, and the father at that time, Fred, I think was his name, was in his 40s. I don't know if it was late or mid. I was like, dude, I thought he was like in his 60s, like almost 70. I didn't know he was that young, actually. You mean to tell me I'm older than that guy?
When I hear
crazy.
Those things, when you look up the ages of the peoples from those old shows,
Dude.
I'm always blown away.
Right? And then, you know, some people just will say, will defend, well, this style was different, with this and that. No. They knew nothing about eating protein. They knew nothing about strength training. They knew nothing about what we're doing, HRT and peptides. No, they didn't have that back then.
No.
Fortunately for us, we're lucky that we caught that era at the right time.
I know.
Because I mean, look at you, for instance. A lot of people are like, "What have you done different? You look so much younger. You're glowing. You you showed a picture when you got hit with menopause real bad. You compare it to now, you're two different people.
It did change things for sure in my appearance, which is crazy.
It's like,
and I didn't expect that. I didn't even think about, again, because lack of knowledge, lack of people talking about it, but I did not even think that my hormones are affecting my appearance.
Crazy.
But it's not. And people, they're so like, they don't realize that the way you look on the outside is a reflection on what's going on the inside with your cells and your organs. When your organs aren't functioning optimally, you're not going to have the right coloring. You're not going to have the right, the whites of your eyes aren't going to look white. And like so many different things start to happen, and it's so gradual you can't even pinpoint it, but you're just like, why do you look like shit all of a sudden?
And giving up alcohol. People don't realize alcohol, you're fucking with your organs, and it's showing under your eyes.
Oh yeah,
and it's showing in your eyes, and it's showing in your skin, and you don't realize it, and it's aging you. You don't realize it, but it's aging you fast, especially when you're older. What the fuck are you doing drinking at this age?
Yeah, no. When you start to really learn about that kind of stuff, you think like, why would you drink? There's literally
why would you,
zero amount of alcohol that is safe to consume. Zero. Even a drop is toxic to some degree.
Yeah.
And it has a cumulative effect. So why would you do, if you care about aging, if you're like in there, like you care about your skincare and you're getting the Botox and you're doing all these things, but you still drink wine every night, like that's so counterintuitive.
I know.
It's weird. All right, you guys, let's take a little break for Transcend. How perfect. And we'll be right back. When's the last time you switched your budget around? If you're spending cash on eating out and buying clothes, but you don't want to spend a bit on your health, what are you even doing? Every day from the moment you wake up until you go to bed, you have a series of choices that will make or break you. The things you eat, your physical activity or lack thereof, your sleep, it all adds up. Personally, I care about what I put in my body, and I found that it's hard to put a price on feeling like you're ready to take on the world every day. That's why I leverage the power of hormone optimization and fully customized peptide protocols from Transcend. If you're ready to take your health to the next level, head over to the link transcendcompany.com/ESCOElite and fill out an intake form today. All right, so let's get into, I want to talk about some maybe lesser known supplements or things you can do that can help you speed up the process of fat loss, or basically what I mean by speeding up fat loss. How can you speed up fat loss? By actually sticking to your calorie deficit. The more consistently you stick to it, the faster you'll get results. So some of these supplements can help you. So let's kind of go over some of them. The first one is so common, and I think people often don't realize its benefits for weight loss, but caffeine. Caffeine is a well-known, it actually helps to boost your metabolism.
Big time. And I read that in NASM as well.
Yeah.
A very accredited book, National Academy of Sportsmen, said that in there, because for a long time, caffeine got it's like it got the dark cloud hanging over it, like it was bad for you.
Yeah.
Remember that? For a long time they did.
I mean, with anything, you have to monitor intake. You cannot just go willy-nilly with the caffeine.
No.
And you have to be careful because caffeine is in lots of different things. So if you're taking some supplements with caffeine in it, and then you're also drinking coffee and drinks and all of that, that could be, an issue for going over, and it's not safe to go over. So be mindful of that. But yeah, it does help. It helps you also with energy, having energy for more effective workouts, which will in turn help you to burn a little more calories, have a more effective weightlifting session, get more benefit out of that session.
I can attest to that.
Another one is green tea extract. It contains an antioxidant called catechins, which may increase fat burning, especially during exercise. It has could potentially have a mild effect on metabolism as well. Now, L-carnitine, we talked about this in the supplements video that we did recently. And that one, specifically, L-carnitine is involved in the transportation of fatty acids into the mitochondria where they are burned for energy. It improves your fat burning during movement. So it improves your body's ability to use fat when you're moving. So I take mine before workouts. But I like L-carnitine. I think I talked about it before in a few episodes ago, but I think the next time I place an order with Transcend, I want the injectable L-carnitine.
I'm interested in that too.
Yeah, because I like the studies that support the benefits. Again, it's not like some super magical fat blasting thing, but I do think it is helpful, especially if you get it in a form that's going to be highly absorbable and utilized by your body. Now, this one is something that I took when I was competing. I do not have good tolerance for it. I tried to take it again maybe a year or two ago. I still can't take it. It's very strong, but it's effective, and it's yohimbine.
I've never taken yohimbine.
That shit's like crack.
I've never taken it.
I can't do it.
I'm curious. What does it do to you?
Well, it's an alkaloid derived from the bark of a yohimbine tree. It increases fat loss by blocking alpha-2 adrenergic receptors, which help release stored body fat for energy, especially in stubborn areas. So it does something kind of a little different, but the problem with it is it has a very stimulating effect, and it, for me, feels like I'm going to crawl out of my skin. I can't stand it.
I want to try it now.
So 5 to 10 milligrams to assess tolerance, because it is strong, on an empty stomach before exercise. So I used to take it before I headed into workout with Matt. And maybe I was younger, I was more tolerant of it. I can't take it anymore. I mean, at all, because it's so strong. Like, I feel like I can't sleep at night. It's just, I can't. But it does have some good benefits. Another one, this is an interesting one. It's called glucomannan. It is a certain type of dietary fiber that can help reduce your appetite. It promotes feelings of fullness and can just aid in overall calorie intake because you feel full, you're satisfied. And typically the dosage is just 1 gram before meals with a lot of water. It's going to create a lot of volume in your gut. And sometimes when you create that volume, it can stimulate the GLP-1 hormone that's going to quiet the food noise. And then it can also delay gastric emptying. So all of those things kind of mimic like a Ozempic-like effect in a small, without doing without the mental barricade that semaglutide does. But
yeah,
it's worth a shot if you're struggling, if you're in a calorie deficit and you're struggling. I like this one because this one has nothing to do with stimulant. All the other aids, I feel like there's some stimulant inducing thing, and you don't want to compromise sleep with any of these things. If any of these remedies compromise sleep, it's not worth it to me, because sleep is the most important thing next to the amount of calories you're taking in. The most important.
Yep.
But I want to look up this glucomannan. I think that there's a supplement company called Just Supplements. I think it's called Just Supplements. They have it. They have it in like a powder form. You can get it on Amazon. Another one is I did not realize that fish oil can help with your metabolism. I know it can help with regulating blood sugar, but I didn't know it had anything to do with metabolism. But according to this, it does. Because we take our fish oil.
Every day?
Yeah. There's a lot of benefits to taking fish oil, obviously. This is one I've used frequently. It's actually helped me quite a bit, and it is apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar helps you to digest your food. Actually, it stimulates the kind of like, what does the gallbladder produce? I can't think of it right now. That helps you break down food.
Bile?
Yes, stimulates bile production. And it helps it helps to reduce sugar cravings, reduce your appetite, promotes fat loss, and it can just overall help you to stay in your calorie deficit. For me, it kills a sugar craving like that. Dilute a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in water. If you want, you can add a little turmeric or even a little bit of lemon. Take it as a shot. And it's going to help you with digestion as well as reduce your appetite and kill the craving.
I was going to say, I had a friend who was a professional MMA fighter, and he would tell me about, that's one of his tricks to cut weight was apple cider vinegar.
Really?
Yep. Shout out to my boy Mike Kyle. He told me about it. He told me, dude, use apple cider vinegar. They would use it, and it helped cut weight. Also against, like you said, calm the noise down in your stomach, like the hunger cravings or whatever cravings you got.
Yeah. That's a good one, and a cheap one.
Yeah.
Cheap. Get the Bragg organic with the mother. That's the good, real stuff. And I just saw a little note on here on the yohimbine is a negative for you because it increases blood pressure.
Really?
So, because there's another,
no go for me.
There is another ingredient that's in the yohimbine family that also is very similar to yohimbine, and I can't even pronounce it. It's called like rawolsine, and it is the same thing. It's an alpha-2 androgenic receptor antagonist, and it also helps break down body fat in like stubborn body fat areas, but it has those stimulant properties. So it's a benefit in terms of it can help increase your energy, but it could also impair sleep, or if you are sensitive to stimulants, or you're prone to anxiety, or if you have high blood pressure, you do not want to mess with anything with stimulants. You got to be really careful if you have issues with your heart rate, like tachycardia already, or you have blood pressure issues. So honestly, any of these things, you should always consult with your doctor before considering them. But I thought it was these are kind of lesser discussed ingredients or things. Now, I thought this was interesting. So because I read up on some of these ingredients, I thought, you know what? I'm going to go look at what is in One Up Nutrition's fat burner, because the Make Her Lean fat burner from One Up Nutrition, I can't take. It's too strong for me. It does curb my appetite. It does give me energy, but it gives me that feeling like I'm coming out of my skin. Well, lo and behold, it has that rawolsine in it.
Oh.
And I'm sensitive to that yohimbine family stuff. So that's why I can't take it. But if you are not sensitive to stimulants, it's a good one to try, because you're going to get the caffeine that's also in that fat burner. Plus you have this, and then I believe there's even like a green tea extract in there as well. So they've got the trifecta, but it's really strong. And definitely only start with one and take it as early in the day as possible so it does not mess with your sleep, because not worth it.
I think there's another one that's missing on there.
That's all I have. What?
I know another one that's missing.
What?
That's not talked about.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. Let me guess. Can I guess?
Guess.
Ephedra.
No.
Oh.
No. Cocoa leaves. They use it up in Peru and
For weight loss?
For everything, for working, for energy. They'll chew literally before it gets turned into cocaine, they chew on the cocoa leaf. It's a known thing out there. They make teas and everything with it.
Is cocoa leaf tea legal?
Over there it is, yes.
Is it here?
Yeah, no, here it's not.
Oh, really?
I don't think so. They don't allow you. That is a good question. We could bring just the leaf over, because it's not converted into the powder form. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot. Chemicals. Yeah, there's a lot they do.
But no, for real. Over there, look it up, because I know you're the research queen. Is the people will either chew on the leaf or make tea out of it for energy purposes.
What about
the government was actually, instead of the farmers working for the cartels out there, the government wasn't having an incentive to tell farmers, we'll pay you and you grow for us and we'll make teas and stuff out of it, like nutritious things out of it, for health purposes.
What about, have you heard of, I used to watch Survivor, and they would get their hands on like this kava drink every once in a while in Survivor that made them kind of high or delirious. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of the kava. I don't know much about it.
Interesting.
I don't know what's in it. They'll probably put some stimulants in it. Who knows what they throw in there.
I feel like, to me, it's like the stimulant, it's like, duh. Of course, that's going to curb your appetite. It's going to help you stay in a deficit. But what are the negative? There's a lot of negative impacts of stimulants.
There is.
The problem with the stimulant stuff, so anything we talked about today that has the stimulants in it, is remember that it's cumulative. So if you're drinking coffee and you're drinking your Diet Coke and you got that caffeine, and then you're also taking a pre-workout that has caffeine in it, then, I'm going to take a fat burner pill. Too much.
Too much. You're
right. Going to end up in the ER. You're going to end up with the high blood pressure. It's not worth it. Now, what I do like out of all of these things, what I would say is I do like the ones that are a little off the beaten path, like the apple cider vinegar. Like how, it's going to help with digestion. It's going to help with bloating, help balance your blood sugar, reduce cravings. It's like a no-brainer.
What about those energy drinks you drink, though?
Yeah.
A lot of people end up in the ER.
Of course.
Not yours, but.
No, but you can.
A lot of them, yeah.
You can if you abuse that. Like I drink one a day. And I would never drink more than that.
And yours isn't even the strongest one out there.
No, it's not. But I wouldn't drink more than one. And I know that, like, I can handle that, and it doesn't, bother me. I keep my caffeine under 300 milligrams a day. Always under 300. So, but if you think about it, so like on a day that I do, I have some pre-workout and I have my energy drink, that's it for me. Then it's the gold caffeine-free Diet Coke for me because I can't have any more caffeine.
Yeah.
On a day like today, I didn't have pre-workout, so I had my energy drink plus this Diet Coke. That's it
Which
for me.
has very little bit.
I know, it doesn't have much, but that's it for me. I monitor my caffeine intake because my sleep is precious to me.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking, a lot of people out there, they're on so many different stimulants, and if they're not monitoring it, then they're, overdoing it. But think about it. Anything with a stimulant effect reduces appetite, right? So like people who do recreational drug use, I've never done cocaine in my life. I don't know but I feel like it's one of those things people don't eat when they take it, right?
No.
Isn't it one of those things?
Yeah. It's like crystal meth. That's why they get so skinny.
Because it's stimulant.
Yes.
So there's something about stimulants that reduce your appetite.
Same thing when I was in the whole 90s, early 2000s, ecstasy, rave, that era. I wasn't hungry when I was popping those fucking pills at all.
Yeah.
That was the best. I'd go, man, probably like a day without eating. Crazy. I'd have the appetite. You try to eat and it would taste like gross. Like, ugh, I don't want to eat.
Well, that's interesting because I think, and I think that's why of all things that, like the semaglutide and stuff was so attractive to people in terms of weight loss, because it's one of the first or fewer things, the newer things on the market that it wasn't based on stimulants. It wasn't.
Yes.
It wasn't like the fen. That was a stimulant.
I remember that.
Ephedra, stimulant.
Yes.
All of the popular weight loss things in the past have all revolved around that stimulant cracked out effect. Yeah, they were effective. You weren't hungry, but you were all wired up and, that cracked out feeling. Whereas the Ozempic doesn't do that. It just makes you not want to eat, unfortunately.
Man, my crazy ass would fucking pop some Rip Fuel and some fucking coffee and go to the gym, but I'd be like a little like this.
What is Rip Fuel?
It was like a fat burner. But it had all that shit in it, like back then.
So I remember,
probably had ephedra in it back then for sure. 100% it did.
Yeah,
they had Yellow Jackets. Another one called Yellow Jackets. That was strong. Just a lot of stuff back then that was dangerous.
There was one that I remember that was really strong. I think it was like Red Line. It was
yes.
How much caffeine was in that thing?
I don't remember that. It was strong though. Yes.
Wasn't it a skinny?
Yep.
Red Line or something like that.
Do you remember Jolt Cola?
Jolt, I do.
That was strong. They had a lot of caffeine.
Yeah.
They purposely put a lot.
Doesn't Mountain Dew have a lot of caffeine, I thought?
I don't know.
I thought Mountain Dew did.
But Jolt had a lot. More than Coke, Diet Cokes, all that.
Interesting. Yeah, so you got to be careful. It's nice to find the things that, in the simplest form, the fiber always works. Like there was that fiber that I mentioned, the glucosamine or something like that. But there's fiber works in terms of helping you feel full. Also, drinking plenty of water helps too.
Yes. When you're dehydrated, you're hungry.
That's you know why that is, right? It's because the body is trying to it's like, fine, she's not going to drink, but I at least want to get her to eat because I'll get water from food. People don't realize you get a lot of water from food as well.
Yes. Carbohydrates.
Yeah, so carbs. So you'll crave, if you're dehydrated, not only will you be thirsty and hungry, you're going to be hungry for carbs.
Yes.
You're going to be craving the carbs and sugar and stuff because it wants the water from those carbs. The
body's unique, huh? You don't need to tell it when to eat. It knows it wants to eat. It knows it needs to eat. It's just autopilot.
No, but haven't you ever heard that if you crave weird things that are non-food or like dirt or something, it's because you are deficient in a certain mineral?
I've heard that.
Have you heard that?
Yes.
I don't know 100% if that's accurate, but I've heard that if you crave specific types of things, it's because it's your body's way of trying to plug a hole in your nutrition profile.
Possible.
Who knows? Our bodies are amazing.
They are. We're still trying to figure them out.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.
See you.